Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallen, and comedian Jonah Jerkins like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, make dumb lists, and just have a dumb old time with you. How are you, Jonah?
I'm great.
I'm great. That hesitation that makes everyone going, is Jonah there?
Yeah, I think I don't want to answer that question without fully thinking about how everything's going.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I'm surprised you gave me the answer. Great.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners, American
Thanksgiving.
listeners, because we do have a global reach.
We do.
We've got some Australian, we've got some UK.
Uh-huh.
So Thanksgiving is a holiday we celebrate here, the last Thursday of November, in which everyone gets together and eats turkey and watches football. And apparently families bicker. Some of them do. We are going to do a top 5 Thanksgiving food list, the best food. Talk a little bit about what we like and don't like about Thanksgiving. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of the holiday, but can I get something off my chest? Can
Of course
I just
you
rant
can.
for a little minute, and then you could steer the ship if you want?
Go ahead.
I don't know if you know this. I want to look at the camera for this one. All of the people out there who choose Thanksgiving as their day to remind everyone how shitty Americans, or the first European settlers, I should say, were to the indigenous Native Americans. Just shut the fuck up. Because we fucking know you don't say shit the other 364 days of the year. You choose the one day where everyone's like excited, and it's not even a fucking day where people are sitting around being like, hey man, we really fucking killed those people, huh? Which would be awful. But no, it's food and it's fucking football, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay? And just shut the fuck up about the rest, because you're not changing any minds. You're just that annoying person. And the only people who are on social media as much as those losers on Thanksgiving are other losers. So
Right.
only other losers are seeing your fucking loser post, right? So you're not gaining any traction with anybody. Just fucking have some stuffing and shut the fuck up.
Right. Stuff it down like the rest of us.
Yeah, man. Fucking put all the things that make you upset, or bring it up the other days of the year.
Right.
Right? It'd have more impact, I feel like. I think they think, it has more impact if you say it on the day everyone's celebrating. But again, it's
Nobody's
not-
paying attention to their social media.
No.
They're all too busy shoving their faces and then celebrating all the murder that we've done.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the exclamation point at the end of that.
I do like the idea where people are like, can you not believe, or like they think that we're like kind of proud of that. You know what I mean?
We all know it's obviously the genocide of the indigenous people of this continent and slavery are the two worst things that this
Ever.
country were founded on. And they're the two worst things
more,
ever.
yeah.
Right? But it's just like, look, that's not what the day has become.
Yeah.
Like the word gay used to mean happy.
Yeah.
Now it means something else. That holiday means something else
Right.
now.
Do you think when there was a lot of, obviously I'm trying to make light, not to make light at this, but do you think like when somebody was like during that time, like somebody got massacred or murdered or whatever, and then they picked up the body and the handprint was there and the guy was like, that kind of looks like a turkey.
That's how that became an arts and crafts.
Yeah.
That was the first ever arts and crafts piece.
That's a
Right there.
person. Yeah. There's then someone else goes, Ezekiel, that does kind of look like a turkey, you know?
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
name
Andrew
choice.
Jackson. That does look like
Yeah, Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
George Washington.
good man.
I'm going to go on record and be very brave here. Andrew Jackson, piece of shit.
Piece of
Right?
shit.
Huge piece of shit.
Oh.
Did you know he had
awful
a
hair.
parrot? You want to hear a fun fact? I know a fun fact about every president. He has a parrot who, since Andrew Jackson was a foul mouth, his parrot used to repeat like horrible cuss words. And the parrot was present at the funeral and would not stop cussing. They had to move it outside.
Oh, I love that.
That's
So,
pretty great.
Fun fact about Andrew Jackson, known piece of shit.
Yeah, known piece. Old Hickory was his nickname too. What a dick.
Horrible name.
Horrible nickname. Old Hickory.
Ugly.
Why do you know
Fucking
that?
douche. I know a lot about presidents.
Okay, well, he's autistic, so I know that why he has that. But like, why he knows that? Now I need to know. Now this is unfair. Now
He should have
there's
been there
the
for
three
the
of us together.
president's
Now I
list.
didn't know that we had to do this.
Joe would have
just
fucked
read
up that
it.
president list. He would have crushed it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, when you guys were doing the president episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been
Who do you think is the hottest president? Is it Jackson?
Fillmore. No, it's
Yeah.
got to be probably JFK, Obama, one of those two,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Me too.
Obama was
People
mine.
thought Clinton was good looking. Bill,
We had
He had
Bill.
Riz though.
he had Riz.
Yeah,
God, he's good.
yeah,
Definitely had Riz.
God,
I
he's
mean,
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, who's the ugliest president?
Oh,
There's a
God.
lot out there.
William Henry Harrison, the guy who died in the rain 35 days into his fucking presidency.
Now, I've always said William Henry Harrison's the worst president of all time.
You
Even
have always
though-
said that.
I have. I've always said.
Known Joe quote.
Yeah.
A known fact
known
about Joe
Joe quote, yeah.
Kilgallen is that he's always said William,
That was your yearbook quote, wasn't it?
Yep. Under my picture where I look like a young real estate agent, it said William Henry Harrison, worst president ever, period. No, I've always said William Henry Harrison's the worst president ever, despite the fact that historians never even include him on the rankings because he was only president for like a month. But here's why I think he's the worst president ever. Your first decision, your first act as the president is your inauguration address. He chose to give that speech outdoors in like very frigid temperature because the knock on him, because he was the oldest president elect at the time, was that he was too old
Like
and all
47.
this. Yeah, back then, right?
Yeah, back
And,
then.
yeah, now everyone's in their fucking 70s and 80s. But so he tried to choose that, like, he chose to be like, no, I'm young. I can handle a little cold. No, I'm not even going to wear an overcoat. I'm fine. Gives himself pneumonia and dies.
Is that how, really?
Yes.
That's how he
That's how
dies?
he died.
His
yeah.
first
Really?
decision literally killed him. Worst. That has to be the worst president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. It was in the rain too, because he had 4 pages of a document and they were wet. And as he was reading, it started getting smeared. So he had to kind of ad lib his own speech before he died. Like, I mean, what a train wreck!
And this was way before television, so you don't even get like cool like he
No
gave a
one's
speech in the
documented.
rain points. You know,
No.
dumb.
Yeah, no pictures taken, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea this is all just like what people say, you know? And I like the idea that this is just like his shitty kid who's just like, he's a bad fucking father, fuck that. And then this is all just lies that his son made up.
You know, I think most of the presidents were probably bad fathers.
For sure.
Because to do that, you have
Choose
to
your
ignore. Yeah, you have to. It's especially on the campaign. Think about them. Like I remember when they were showing like Trump and Harris's campaign. Like here's where they're going to be today. They're literally flying state to state.
Yeah.
They'll be like in Ohio at 9 a.m. for a breakfast and a couple words on something. Then they'll be over in Pennsylvania. I mean, that's not too far, but sometimes they zigzag across the country all in one day, trying to make as many stops. And that's for like 8 months of campaigning. They do that, and then in president's a 24-hour job. So.
Right.
And most of them are probably psychopaths, sociopaths
Get that
anyway.
far ahead anyways.
Yeah. You gotta
Right.
be crazy to want that job.
Who do you think's the best husband?
The best husband that's a
Yeah.
president? What was the president that was the best husband?
Obama?
Probably Carter or Obama.
Yeah.
It's gotta be
Carter.
one of the
What
two.
a good pick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of the two where you never heard any scandals about them because I think like fucking 80% of them have cheated.
Yeah.
Was
You know?
Reagan good at his? They're famous. Duo.
Reagan's kids all hated him.
Oh.
And they even said they didn't vote for him his second term. I think him and his wife probably got along pretty good, but you know what they said about his wife? I guess back in the day, she was being passed around the Warner Brothers a lot. They called her the throat goat. I'm not making this up. This was
I didn't know that. What?
seriously, Google that a few years ago. Nancy Reagan was known as just giving the best beaches. Just beach.
There's nobody said throat goat though.
Yeah, they did.
Like the greatest of all time.
No, they meant like an actual goat. 'Cause
Okay.
Goats were known because look, these are all most politicians are hillbilly Southerners.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of his cabinet was at least.
Yeah.
And so they all just knew.
Okay.
I don't know. I made that
Dude,
part
can you
up.
imagine
Yeah.
in the 40s being called a throat goat? Like that's like the lowest of low names you could get in the 40s.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, he was elected at 69, making him the oldest president at the time ever elected. And people were just like, this is crazy. And then the last election, the 2020 was Biden versus Trump. And they're both people that were way
Well over
older.
70, yeah.
And then even Hillary versus Trump, they were both older. Like I think when Trump got elected in 2016, it made him the oldest ever elected.
Yeah, and then Biden took it, and then Trump took it back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
I-
really,
I
we should
can't
really
believe we got
cap the
Joe on
age.
this president talk.
We should
I
cap
love
the
this.
age. We have to.
should.
I know. You know what's funny about that is like Joe. You know, you have a newborn. You perform a lot. You walked in and you're like, you know, I'm a little tired right now. Like, you know, let's try to get this done quick. And then presidents come up, you pop up.
Yeah.
And it's like
I love
it's
that.
like you just did a line of presidents. It's like you are ready to fucking go right now.
Well, I know a lot about 4 subjects. So
Yeah.
when any of those 4 come up,
Okay.
you're going to see me lean forward in that
Okay,
chair.
so if I ever need you to be excited, I'll start bringing up presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
ask
go.
him about Martin Van Buren, and then he'll pop up.
Martin Van Buren, the 9th president of the United States. Or no,
Yeah.
he was 8th.
Eighth.
The 8th.
What else
The
you got there,
Seinfeld
bud?
episode, the Van Buren boys.
What else you got, bud?
About Martin Van Buren?
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Martin Van Buren.
Hey, producer.
MVB?
what-
I don't know.
producer, what's your little fucking fact on that
He was
one?
the first president to be born as an American.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right,
In the
because they were all
United
British
States, yeah.
subjects before.
Yeah.
You know,
Then
I-
that's kind of it.
I mentioned
Surrounded by fucking losers.
Yeah.
That's where I am right now.
I
Fucking
mentioned
dork.
Pierce or Fillmore. One of them, they believe, was born in Canada, but at the time it wasn't like incorporated.
Oh, it had to be
anything.
Pierce. He's too handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks Canadian.
Yeah.
A hot president. You know who he is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's like
He's
Al
the first
Baldwin.
president introduced the Christmas tree to White House.
Was he now?
Mm-hmm.
Was since it's Thanksgiving, this is how we segue back to Thanksgiving. Who was the first president to make a proclamation of Thanksgiving?
Oh, like the turkey?
Or no, who was the first one to just say we now have Thanksgiving as a holiday?
Oh, well, I'll look that up then.
I
don't
want
know
to say
that.
it was Lincoln.
Really?
What?
I could be wrong though.
That's a long fucking time.
George
Yeah,
Lincoln?
if it wasn't Lincoln, it had to be good old George Lincoln. Herbie Hancock.
I know nothing about this shit. It's embarrassing how little I know
I
about
used to be able to
politics.
name all the presidents in a row. That's how dorky I was with.
Really?
cities. Yeah, I can't.
Were you like that with like state capitals?
Oh, I could name them all.
Really?
Still,
Yeah.
Really?
Dude,
Missouri.
Jefferson City.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You could say anything. I'd be like, oh, really? Yeah.
No, it's Jefferson City.
California.
Sacramento.
That's true. That's what I knew. What we got?
I'm really
Georgia.
kidding. Georgia's Atlanta.
Okay.
No,
It
that's
is
not right.
Atlanta.
It
I
is
thought it was
Atlanta.
Savannah. It's Atlanta.
It's Atlanta. Yeah.
I watched The Floor recently.
I almost said Augusta, but it's Atlanta.
Albuquerque.
That's a city, by the way. And you just
Oh shit.
and it's Santa
New
Fe.
Mexico.
New Mexico, Santa Fe.
It is.
Yeah. Also,
No,
Augusta's Maine.
Yeah, that's right. But Augusta is where the Masters golf tournament happens in Georgia.
Oh.
Anyhow, I was gonna say that when we do capital B's, like in third, fourth, fifth grade, one of those, I would always nail them.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, I was really good at that.
Also, George Washington was the first president to recognize Thanksgiving as a national holiday on October 3rd, 1789.
Oh shit! Well, there you go.
Well, let me look
GW.
up who was the first
does.
president to do the turkey thing. Where
The pardon, when they
where
pardon
they
a turkey?
pick up a turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, such a goofy tradition. All right, let's get into some of the stuff we do like about Thanksgiving. And again, for everyone around who doesn't know it, it's just like 3 listeners probably, but like it's like a day in which you just spread gratitude, and I think that's what's become. It started off as like a weird, hey, the Native Americans gave us some corn, and we were like, this is great. And then it's like, we did some horrible shit to them though. Yeah, no one denies that. Okay. I feel like it just gets so fucking overplayed that whenever there's a day like this, there's always some Debbie Downers have to
Yeah.
remind
Why
you.
ruin my meal right now?
I know.
It's like I don't want to be reminded about, It's like Joe, like this, like my place right now where we are living, we're on top of a burial ground. I don't fucking remind you every time you come here.
That's true.
It's insane.
Chicago, Native American word. All right, we got some fun things we want to talk about. We're going to get into the top 5 list very quickly. I do want to give a shout out to this. Austin and I were talking a little bit before the podcast started about how there really aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies. But if you have not seen it, I have to recommend John Hughes classic from 1987, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. And that movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Great movie.
Great movie. It's one of the only like pure Thanksgiving movies I could think of. I'm sure there's a few other ones, but it's got lots of laughs and it's got a lot of heart and some good dramatic stuff too, even though you don't typically want a lot of drama in your comedy, but it fits the movie really well. And I really don't understand how John Candy, if he would have lived longer, I really do believe John Candy would have started to get some more even starring dramatic roles.
You think so?
Yeah, because that was the first one where he got to show some of his dramatic side. And Steve Martin is giving a tour around his house. I don't know what it's for, but he comes across the script.
Right.
And starts talking about John Candy.
Right.
And he's getting teared up talking about John Candy.
Yeah.
And so you're like, Steve. And I guess there was a longer monologue that John Candy had in the end there.
Yeah.
Not to reveal, spoiler alert, because there's this thing in there I don't want to reveal to anybody. But he...
I'll reveal it. 'cause
don't,
I have a
man.
story about
Spoiler
that.
alert for a movie that's over fucking 30 years old.
Yeah, why do that?
old.
Why
I
do that?
actually
One of the
haven't
most
seen the
watched
movie.
movies. One of the
Just
most watched
in
family
case.
movies.
What if there's someone listening right now that's like, I've never seen it, but these guys are talking about it. I'll give it a spin.
Right.
Because we forget, dude. I think Gen Z, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this via audio, this generation of people, let's say from the ages who listen to this podcast, 14 years old to 26-year-olds, if you're in that age range, you guys, more than any generation, I think, don't go that far back before you were born. They really don't. The number of times I talk to people Austin's age and they go, that was like 6 years before I was born. And I'm like, there was so much shit I loved that was before I was born. Like, did their parents just never go, hey, this is the Rolling Stones, or hey, this is a really cool movie called Jaws. Let's watch it. Like, they
Yeah.
have no fucking reference points. It's annoying talking to them sometimes. That's what, remember you and I were talking about this once? I'm going all over the place here about how, look, we're veteran comedians in the scene. And every now and then we'll talk to some comedians in their 20s, early 20s even. And I don't start to feel old until there's that moment. Because I feel like once you're like an adult, it's like I don't really feel like when I'm talking to a 29-year-old or a 26-year-old, I'm not thinking, oh my God, they're 14 years old younger than me.
Yeah.
Like when I talk to Austin, I don't feel like we're like that different in age.
No.
But then every now and then something will be said, and I'm like, oh fuck, you are young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I get that a lot. And usually pop culture is where that line happens, especially if whenever I've like dated a little younger than I should have, like it's definitely like, that's when that conversation, like I never feel that way. Cause you don't feel as old as you are, and then you always feel like you look like everybody else. And then you have that conversation and then they're just like, I was like in middle school. And I was like, oh my God, like that is, I think I was in,
And they were in high
College,
school when
and
they told you that.
yeah. And they were in high school when they told me that. Yeah. I know.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just turned 40. It's like how do you think I feel? Like I'm the one at your prom. Like I feel weird. You know what I mean? Like you're the one that's dating. Your teacher. I dated your teacher for a little bit.
Jonah's also notorious for not watching any movies before he was born either, though.
That is also true.
Really?
Tell him what I just bought you that you'll never watch ever.
Bridge over River Kwai.
I heard that's a great movie.
I heard it's a good movie.
I bought him the 4K to add his collection,
Yeah.
but I know it will never be opened.
Oh, I mean, I'll open it. I don't like unopened things, so I will open it. But I ain't gonna watch that shit.
It's in the 50s.
I might as well just been like, oh, that's really sweet, and just threw it behind my back, and just like walked away. You know that
aliens.
Yeah,
What the hell is this?
I always say that's the thing about Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving is generally also when people are like, okay, this is what I want for Christmas. You know what I mean? Just give me that goddamn list. I hate when people are just like, they give you gifts for Christmas, and I don't want to sound like ungrateful, but you get it, and you just want to look at it and be like, do you even fucking know me? Is this what I even asked for? First off, extra large? I'm 5'9". What are you doing? The fuck is wrong with you? Or just throw it behind you, be like, I don't want, how about this? Why don't you just take it back? Like, I'll give it to you.
Just gave me an assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I love watching that movie every Thanksgiving. I like the simplicity of Thanksgiving. There's no gifts. You might have to bring some food, right? Everyone's kind of dressed in. There's almost a dress code, right? It's
Yeah.
some kind of slacks, khakis typically for dudes.
Yeah.
Some kind of sweater.
You going pleated?
The Gap.
You going pleated?
I don't know what
Pleated
pleated.
slack?
What does pleated mean?
When it's like a little pleat in your pants. Old school.
Oh, the line thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I get them dry cleaned,
Uh-huh.
they might
Okay.
be there.
Little
Or
pleats
there might
there?
be a natural pleat. I'm
No,
not
there's a
sure.
pleat. No, that's a fold line, but like you get like it's like what's got a bump. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, show me. I don't know what
Yeah.
the hell. I don't know a lot about fashion.
I see that. Well, no, we know.
I know corduroy is when there's lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, or
You know,
sounds like Velcro.
I don't think I've put on a pair of corduroy pants since I was 4 years
They're
old.
coming back.
I've seen people wearing them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate about you and I have different because you have a huge family.
Yeah.
You have a very big family. So to me, I feel like Thanksgiving, like you look forward to it, right? Because you'd see everyone together. You don't have to worry about the presents or all. I have such a small family, and nobody in my family knows how to cook well. So like, I've never liked Thanksgiving. Like, I do not enjoy it at all. I hate the food for it, which is this. Our list is going to be hard for me because I didn't know how great Thanksgiving was until I started dating, and then I had to go to other people's Thanksgiving. And I love my family, and they're so fun to be around. But like, it just like never felt special, you know, mainly because the food was all horrible. But like when I started going to like an Italian Thanksgiving or like a big German family, a big Irish family Thanksgiving, it was just like I had no idea what I was missing my whole life, you know.
So everyone was just bad cooks, or they're just making bad food.
It's small family bad cooks. Yeah, or like no, it was bad. I don't care if you're listening, family.
I always
It was
remind the
horrible.
listeners, because I've told many of our friends, I go, Jonah is a master griller. Whenever you'd had
That's why I
parties-
learned how to cook because I never. My mom never taught me. My mom wasn't the best cook either, and I just was like, I need to start. I need to start learning how to cook here because nobody in my family does. I never enjoyed food, and that's because I had such like a small palate because of that. So then I'm like, I wanted to branch out. I wanted to learn. So I I didn't like breakfast, so I wanted to learn how to make myself a good breakfast that I can enjoy. And then I started liking breakfast, and then I always wanted to grill because like nobody in my family. My uncle's a pretty good griller, but other than that, like you know, just kind of like these slow like I want to learn things that my family can't do. You know, like love me. You know,
Did you learn?
I learned to love me.
Did
Yeah.
you learn to love yourself?
I
Jonah?
did learn to love myself.
Oh,
but
that's Thanksgiving.
but Joe, before we go into the real Thanksgiving stuff, I do want to do an update because the last time I saw you, we did an episode that got released a couple weeks later, and I said that I was gonna make a bet. Do you remember this?
That's right. It was Tyson versus Jake Paul.
It's Tyson versus Jake Paul. I went to the Tyson versus Jake Paul
Yeah,
fight
tell us real quick
in
about
Dallas.
that spectacle, and then we'll roll
Real
into the
quick.
list.
And first off, I lost all of my money. I've never bet so much on anything. I didn't win a single goddamn thing. I all the money that I spent the last few years making on football bets and stuff like that off this little $50 bet, ended up making like $700 off that. Not bad. Lost all of it on the Tyson fight because I kept being like, okay, for sure, Jake Paul is getting knocked down. He has to. Why wouldn't he? Right. So I was like, all the bets like Tyson's gonna win. No problem. It was like, did you watch it?
I saw highlights, but I did not watch it.
What I should have done is checked Mike Tyson's net worth before because I didn't know that he must have not done well his money or whatever happened. He was only worth like it's still a lot of money, but he's only worth like $1 million.
Which is, it's a lot of money.
It's a
but
lot of money.
Crazy for someone who's a household name,
Right.
and was once considered like one of the best boxers of all
Right.
time.
So this fight alone 20x'd him
Yeah,
because he made $20 million off that, and he's got a family. He's got to take
and
care of
that's
his
what
family.
the purse was, not including some other sponsorships he might have gotten. Out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of say that like the more rounds he went, the more. I mean,
let me just ask you straight up, as someone who was at the Tyson Jake Paul fight, do you believe any of the rumors that it might have been fixed?
100%.
Yeah, and you were. I saw on Instagram you were there. You were close.
I was 6 rows away.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you could see, I mean, if you watch those videos too, there's a video where Tyson goes pretty hard up front. And at first you're like, oh my God. I mean, just first off, the energy of seeing Mike Tyson was worth it. And also the prelim fights. The girls fight before.
Taylor Serrano fight was phenomenal.
One of the best fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean, it was,
fight.
that's in itself should have been the final.
That was their second fight.
Yeah.
Their first one I saw was amazing.
Also amazing. So out of anything, if you say what you will about Jake Paul, like he is bringing a lot of eyes to those two fighters. And that is, he should be commended for that.
Sure, yeah.
But oh my God, Tyson went so hard, and then they clench, right? And then you can clearly see Jake Paul talking in his ear, and then Tyson pats him on his back, and then everything kind of changed after that. And you could see like Tyson kind of come out, and then like he looked like I'm not saying he looked like he's pulling punches.
He did on a few of the videos I saw.
Yeah.
Because it looked like there was a few where you could see he had like an opening.
Yeah.
And then his brain just kind of went. And then there was one where he has his gloves up like this, and you could see him kind of mouth something at Jake.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like he says, "Put your fucking hands up," like
Right.
because it's like, dude, you know.
Yeah, and you know they changed the rounds from 3 to 2 minutes. They did a lot. The gloves were a lot heavier than normal, so like it's basically like trying not to get punched, get knocked
He did
out.
look gassed, Tyson.
He did look gassed.
I mean, he's 58 years old.
Right.
Legs aren't. That's the thing. The legs aren't going to hold up.
Coming off of illness where he like almost died. I mean, he lost 20 some pounds during that. It was well worth seeing it. But also just that I've never seen. I mean, we're at AT&T. So 80,000 people there, something like that. However many people there. Like I've never seen something just suck the energy out.
Yeah. I talked about this on my Patreon because I wish I would have texted you after I saw this clip, because when I saw this clip, I was like, I still think he could win. I want him to win, but after seeing the clip, I'm like, I'm not betting on him. And it wasn't even a fighting clip, it was an interview. He's interviewing by this high school girl, and she asked him about his legacy. And he goes, legacy, ego, those are stupid things. We all die at the end. I could give a shit about my legacy. I'll be dead. Why would I care? You know, you're going to die. Like, it was just more, it was a little bit like, Jesus, dude, she's in high school. Slow the fuck down with this crazy talk. You know what I mean? She might have still have a little faith in life.
Like, listen, honey, it's all not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus.
When you're gone, you're gone. Like, he was being very like, whoa, existential. And when I saw that, I remember thinking like, he does not give a fuck.
No.
This is a money grab for him,
sure.
Which it probably always was.
He
'cause
trained so hard. He looked good. He looked really good.
He fought that one dude. He fought Roy Jones?
Yeah.
On, like, what, 2 years ago when
They
Jake Paul
also-
started to blow up?
Yes.
It was the night Jake Paul fought Nate Robinson, which is like his first one.
Was it that night?
I think it was that
Okay.
night. Because this whole Jake Paul thing, and look, the guy's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
By the way, has he gotten like 150 tattoos in the last 18
He's got
months?
a lot, and he put on about 20 some pounds.
Yeah, he looked
just to
a lot
fight
bigger.
Tyson.
But I still can't take that guy serious because, again, look at, he's fought one true boxer, and it was Fury. Fury's younger half brother. What's his first name? I want to say Nick, but that's from Marvel.
He lost to him.
and he lost.
Right.
It was some close rounds. Don't get me wrong, but it was a clear decision for Fury. And the one reporter asked him, "Hey, you keep telling us that you're a serious boxer and you want to be champion one day. When can we expect you to face a top 10 ranked guy?" Because he could easily make that happen.
Right.
He's got the eyeballs. No promoter. Any one of the guys in the top 10 would be like, "Yeah, we'll fight you."
Right.
And he snapped back at the guy.
Really?
Like fucking asked, like the way Trump does when someone asks him, "Hey, what do you think of the weather?"
Right.
Like it was just like, what the fuck? Like he went hard.
Yeah.
Where you're like, dude, that was actually a pretty fucking fair question.
Yeah.
And he'd even ask it like with any kind of vitriol. He wasn't
Yeah.
a dick with his tone.
It's just hard. It's so polarizing because like Jake is doing a lot of good for the sport itself.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
knows how to
also
make
hurting
money.
it.
He's
yeah.
always known how to make money. That dude's like, yo,
and he's bringing eyes to it again. I mean, there's actually, that was the biggest sport event in however long, you know, and it was
Was it sold out? I thought you said it was easy to get tickets toward the end.
the tickets it was basically sold out, but the tickets were definitely like dropping in price. But you know, for an unsanctioned boxing match, like they have that many eyes on it. I mean, like how like 30 million people watched it on, even better, 60 million people watched it on Netflix.
It was his, and Netflix crashed. And it was definitely Jake Paul's biggest event. Because
Yeah.
I remember seeing some of the, like when he fought Nate Diaz, I don't think anyone really
Well,
gave a shit. Or when he fought
my
Ben
fa-
Askren.
Yeah, my favorite part, which is like the celebrities that were there, Joe. Oh my lord! Like I was okay. First off, Hawk Tui girl sitting behind me.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Like I was like, Laura was like, that's a Hot Tui girl. I'm like, that was fucking not. Fucking was. It's crazy. That
What's she look like in real life? Cute.
cuter than I thought.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Her boyfriend was a real piece of shit. Or the guy that she
Not
was with,
surprising.
because they were interviewing him, and he was just like, yeah, I'm a fighter too. You know, it's like in the audience, we're like, yeah, I want to do stand up too. You're like, okay, bud,
Yeah.
sure, pal, yeah, whatever you want.
Drop your dick
Did feel
and
good
sit
sitting
down.
in front of her though. I'll tell you that. There was from Million Dollar Sunset Listing. There was the guy from there, the little short bald dude. I think it's called Sunset Listing, and you know else was there. What's his name? Joe. I can never say his last name.
Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone was 2 rows in front of me.
From NSYNC.
Yeah. He sat up, and I'm like,
So far, you've mentioned a single celebrity that's made me go, wow.
well, Joe,
Up to
no, the other Joe.
interesting, I
Joe
guess.
Mantanella.
Oh,
Joe
that dude,
Mantanella.
big dude.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
tall guy.
Yeah. So Joe Mantello was there, and also the guy that was in Shang-Chi,
What?
the Marvel.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten
Simu,
Rings?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Simu Liu.
Shang-
Simu. It's Simu something. Simu. I don't know what.
The guy that was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's
Simu,
He was great.
Simu.
He was there. Like, look, he fucking looked hot as shit. He's like just dressed to the nines, which was amazing. Shaq, a few rows in front of me.
Dope.
Yeah, Shaq was there with Gronk.
Where you like, that's the biggest human being I've
Yeah,
ever
he
seen.
stood up, and I was like, damn, dude. And Gronk was there, which is amazing.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
And everywhere you looked, you're just like, oh, I fucking know that guy. You know what's the craziest thing? Guess who's sitting in front of me? Danny LaRusso and William Zabka.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right
From
in front
Cobra
of me.
Kai?
Yeah, from Cobra Kai.
Karate Kid movies? Hell
Right
yeah.
in front of me, which was amazing. Guess of all the
You say hi
celebrities.
to any of them or try to get a picture now?
You know what? I'll get into it in a second.
You don't
So
seem like that type of guy.
no, I don't want to bother people, you
Yeah.
know. And there's a couple of people I wanted to, like Charlize Theron was there, but she wasn't sitting by us at all. And you know who the most amount of people went up to? William Zabka and Daniel LaRusso.
I believe that.
Yeah, which is Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Every kid was going up to it. William Zabka, so amazing, was like taking pictures of everybody. It was so sweet. It was so cool.
Yeah,
But
seems like a nice guy.
he seems like a nice guy, but I think he might be mad at me, Joe.
Why? What'd you do?
I stole his Netflix cooler. They all got Netflix coolers. I stole it. And it is mine. William Zabka, I own your fucking your cooler, buddy. You want it? You come fucking talk to us. You be on our podcast, and I'll give it back to you. You didn't have it in there.
I'm sorry he did that. Why are you stealing shit?
Huh?
He just left it behind.
What?
You didn't steal. He left it behind.
Oh, it was underneath the seat, my friend. I took it. You know how I know it's William Zabka? We got Karate Kid in here. We got Karate Kid. We got Karate Kid 2. What's that? Just one of the guys. One of my William, that's one of your favorites. One of my favorite movies of you. And we also got back to school in there, buddy. I know your goddamn filmography, but this is William Zabka's.
Those are yours from your personal collection, though.
Okay, the movies are, but this is not. There was actually food in here, and I thought it'd be gross if the food was still in here. But yeah, look what we got, Joe.
That's pretty cool, man. I
It's
like
pretty
it.
sweet. Yeah. William Zabka's. Sorry,
Zabka.
pal. You want it? Come be a
He's
guest.
a good artist, I think, or poet. He does something. He's got his little side thing he does too.
Okay, so I know that was a shitty thing I just did, but can I tell you something? He seemed like the coolest guy in the whole entire world.
I
I'm
like
not gonna
that.
lie.
I
He
bet- I believe that.
he was like, okay. Ralph Macchio seemed like he was like, I'm not here. I'm so sick and tired of doing pictures of people. I want to do shit, whatever. There was this guy, this kid came up. His dad was like, picture, do a picture, do a picture. And Ralph was like, no.
That's what the guy asked.
Yeah, he was,
I don't
he was
blame
being,
Ralph
He was
Macchio
being
for-
such a shithead.
Yeah, I don't blame Ralph Macchio for being like, dude, learn to fucking
He's being
act.
such a shithead. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And like even the security guys were like, you gotta go. He goes, no, picture. And William was like, no, it's fine. And he made the security guys leave. He goes, I'll take a picture with him. And he did a picture, and then he like did like the fists up and stuff. He was amazing. And I will say, you know, like sometimes when you're like, you know, you're at a bar and someone's looking and you're like, that person's flirting with me. You know what I mean? Even though they probably aren't, but you're just kind of like, I don't know. I was sitting there, and then William and I would make eye contact, and I wasn't, you know, he knew that I recognized him, and I didn't want to ask or anything. And maybe he knew us from our podcast. I don't know. And I was just like, what's up, man? And he's just like, what's up? And like, kind of like, I had a connection with him. I'm like, I think we could be friends.
And then you stole his cooler.
Yeah. So, cause I want to hang out with him later.
Oh, okay. I
Right.
like it.
So Zabka, let me know, bud. Let's hang out. I'll buy you a drink, whatever you need. we shared something together. We shared Tyson throwing a fight together.
That was like my exchange with Billy Corgan when I was sitting right behind him at Money in the Bank, WWE 2011.
You were sitting
CM
behind
Punk,
Billy Corgan?
right behind him.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was with a comedian friend of ours, Marty DeRosa. He hooked up with tickets.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting that close, you know, you've been to several WWE events, right? Royal Rumble all the time, WrestleMania. When you're that close, the pyrotechnics are loud. And
Hot.
And hot. So I remember Marty would tell me every now and then for certain people's intros, he'd be like, dude, and go like this. So I'd cover my ears and you're then, and Corgan was doing it too, because Corgan's a huge wrestling fan. So he also knew, and he's also a singer. He's got to protect his ears.
Yeah. Yes.
So at one point, Marty gives me the cover your ears, and I go to cover my ears, and I notice Billy isn't covering his
cover
ears.
Billy's though?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh.
He's like 6'4". He's a tall guy, so it'd been weird for me to, and I'm 6'1", so I'm not like I'm short. But I then was like, yo, Billy. And he turned around and I went,
Yeah.
and then he covered real quick, and then they went off, and then he turned to us and goes, it's such a shitty song too. And we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. So we just had a quick little exchange, but he was funny about it.
What if you did that and when he covered his ears, you just popped him in the face? Because his hands aren't up anymore. And you're just like, you're like always be on defense. And you sat back down.
You gotta be ready, man.
You gotta be ready,
That's what you
brother.
get for that follow-up album. I didn't fucking like that at all. No, but that'd be the most bizarre thing. Imagine him telling the story. He was like, this guy told me to cover my ears because, the Big Show was coming out and that loud ass fucking pyro. And
He
all
just
of a sudden,
pops me in my fucking nose.
straight. Dude, you got boxing on the mind, my man. That would be fucking hilarious. I want to do that to someone one of these days. Be on guard, Austin. Be on fucking guard. Well, that's great. We got to clip that. Hopefully, William Zabka sees it.
Yeah, but when you did that though with Billy Corgan, and did he look back and say thank you?
Yeah, he did. He looked back. He gave me like a thanks, and then he leaned over and whispered something to us about the song. Not whispered, but like he chatted with us for like a second.
At those moments, aren't you kind of like, we could be friends?
I know, and then I remember thinking at the end of it, he'd be like, "Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I got this spot in the city that I like to fucking drink at.
Yeah.
You guys seem cool. First
Yeah.
round's on me. Come on out."
Like
that
Zapka and I
would've been
I kept being like, because he kept like looking back, because I think he was seeing if I was going to take a picture. I took pictures of him later, but like, because I needed to prove the fact that I was sitting behind him, that I needed to prove that this was his thing. But yeah, where you just like, you're hanging out. I can never say his last name, Joe
Mantanella.
Montanello. Mantanello.
Mantanello.
I wanted that dude to be like, love the podcast, bro, and walk away. I would have been like, oh my God. I would have been flustered.
You're like, I really like the yesterday gag.
That dude's just as hot. yeah. You know what's funny about that? I almost put yesterday in that bag.
When you were reaching, I remember going,
I know.
what's he doing with
I
this?
wasn't going to do it to you.
Dude, I have PTSD. Whenever you reach behind that chair, it's like, oh, here we go.
I know. I like when I was putting the movies in there for a second, I was like, I should put yesterday in here.
One of these days, you're going to reach back when you turn around and be already up the stairs.
And then you're going to be like, hey, Jonah, cover your ears. And then you just pop me in the face.
Dude,
No, I was
that's
going to take
the
out yesterday and be like, and yes, that's just a good movie. And then put it back in and take it
Damn,
away.
I would have loved that.
Really?
You fucked up.
Oh,
You
you
done
should do
fucked
it,
up.
Jonah. Jonah told me, and I told him to do it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did. You told me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you did it in a way like an antics.
you should do it.
It's been over a year, so I know.
You just checked your phone and you said that. Do you have that in your phone as a marker?
My phone was vibrating, so I wanted to double
okay.
check what the hell that was. I didn't know if I set it like an alarm.
Yeah.
My dog had surgery last week, so I had to give her
wow.
medicine.
She okay?
So, yeah, poor dog has no front teeth anymore.
Oh, no.
Poor girl. She ended up growing this weird tumor thing. Anyway, she's better now, for those who are going to be concerned and send me messages.
So I just want to, to put a button on what I was talking about. Pretty upset about the fight, but no matter what, I just want to give thanks for everybody that was there. I had a great time.
I love that.
Mhm.
Look at the let's spread some positivity, huh? Let's go. We've got a top 5. So again, Thanksgiving is one of the biggest eating days. It's a day of feasting, stuff in your face. So we decided we're going to do our top 5 lists, and then we'll recap it. So we're doing top 5 favorite Thanksgiving foods. And I know I'm looking forward to this because you're right. A lot of people do hate on Thanksgiving food. They think turkey's a dry bird. And there's other people who I know Italian people probably do like lasagna, and there's other people who do different things. I am a traditionalist. I love the turkey. If you have bad turkeys because you didn't make it right and you don't have the right gravy.
Right.
I'll say that right up front. Do you want to lead us off with your number 5 or do you want me to start?
Sure. Do you want to do any like?
Just go 5, 5, 4, 4.
Yeah. Do you want to say any things that we just absolutely hate up front? Any foods
All right,
we
just to
hate?
get those out of the way, I am going to get flack for this. My father, who, hero of mine, RIP, fucking loved the dude to death, loved cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Gross.
I just think it's so gross. And I know I've got a lot of good friends who like cranberry sauce, but that to me is the one thing I just look at and I have no desire to. I don't mind cranberry juice, but I have no desire to be like, yes, slice me off that cranberry.
Never looks good.
And the people who really love it are like, oh, it's great right out of the can. You know,
Right.
it just doesn't look right to me.
Is it good out of the can? Where did you grow up?
There are some people there. By the way, there are some foods. I'll say this: I've gone to restaurants and I like corned beef hash as a breakfast item. I don't get it a lot, but I like it a lot. Where I've had corned beef hash at places, and I'm like, oh, this isn't that good. And they go, hey, is this homemade? And they go, yeah. I go, that's why. Out of the can, it's way better.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some food just I don't know. Maybe because you're just used to the taste of the over processed food.
Yeah.
And it just tastes better.
Do you think like boxed macaroni's better?
Boxed macaroni versus what?
Like homemade macaroni and cheese?
Oh, I like it all. But yeah, I love a good Kraft. Dude, I like the fucking cups. You just add some water, fucking microwave that bad boy for 3.5 minutes.
Are you like Stouffer's is the best stuffing?
I don't know what the other brands are.
Stouffer's is, as in like the the easy.
Yeah, the box.
The box
the box of Stouffer's stuffing. I mean, Stouffer's one. They're like the most. That's like
I agree.
main,
I've never had. I don't like stuff. I think I was so new to this stuff. I still to this day think Stouffer's is the best stuffing.
Stuffing's weird one for me because it's either so good or you're like, what the fuck is this? You put chives in here? Get the fuck out of here. Why would
you're
you
not
do
chive
that?
guy?
I'm not a chive guy.
Yeah, no, you're not a chive guy. Mine thing that I hate is some people do this. It's like the sweet potato casserole with marshmallows in it.
Ugh.
What are we doing?
No, we don't need that.
Ugh.
Stop it. Stop being dumb.
Stop being dumb. Stop being dumb.
Yeah, as the co-host of Let's Get Dumb, you stop being
being
dumb.
dumb.
You dumb-dumbs.
Okay, so I'll go to my number 5.
Let's go. Sorry, I was looking at my list. You're right. I should probably start writing it down because it does look rude when I look at my phone. Cole Cabana
I think it
was
looks
right
bad.
about that.
I also
Yeah.
can't see either of what you guys are looking at. You guys
Okay.
are just looking
Oh,
at
it's not
your
even on the
laps.
camera? Oh,
It's
that's
so
fine.
low that
I
don't
would say
see
my
his
problem
book.
is that I look at my thing like this kind of blind, so then it looks stupid.
No, that's funny looking, yeah. But Joe, yeah, yours
funny
I
looking.
don't see really.
I'm going to lead off. Number 5, because we just talked about it. Stuffing. We don't need to go in any further.
Mhm.
It's just something, it's a nice little compliment. I
Love
like it
it
because it's soft. It's I don't know. It's something you only have at Thanksgiving. It's the only time I want it. It fits the weather. Like I can't imagine anybody being like, let's have some stuffing in July, right?
Right, yeah.
It just doesn't work. You know?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't even fucking
I
know.
don't know what
Oh,
it
dude,
is.
you got to come over for my mom's 4th of July party. She's gonna make the greatest stuffing.
It's bizarre.
It's like
Putting
whatever.
stuffing on hot dogs?
Yeah.
It's specific to Thanksgiving and even
You got to go to the house for
Christmas.
you got to go to the house for trick or treat. They're giving out stuffing.
Bizarre,
Just
right?
a little
But
bag of stuffing.
I like it. Like that's all I'm gonna say about this because I'm gonna save this for the end for what I do. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stuffing's number 5. What do you got for number 5?
Number 5, green bean casserole. Love it.
God.
I know our producer hates it, but
Fucking awful.
big fan. I don't know what it is. I love it. Give me more. Also, green beans better out of the can.
Is it now?
I think so. I mean, I love like I make a mean green bean, I make a mean green bean that's fresh, which is good, but it's just something about the can. I don't know what's in there.
I don't know what it is either. Maybe it's the alloy or the aluminum.
It's gotta be all the poison that's in
As
there.
our English friends would say, aluminium. What do they say?
Yeah, I noticed that. And I was
They
watching a
pronounce
video
that
today
word
about
wrong.
somebody that kept saying
They
that.
say
It sounded
aluminum.
cooler.
They say aluminium.
It sounded like they're like a villain for Marvel.
It does. Maybe it is a better way of saying it. Maybe
It's a
we're
much
wrong.
better way of saying that.
I'm just used to saying aluminum.
Yeah, and then because the guy's producer is just like, oh, like aluminum foil. He goes, yeah, like with the way you said it, foil. I'm like, that sounds so much cooler.
I guess so. Aluminium foil.
Yeah, it sounds like you can go back in time with that.
Maybe that's why we had the war back in the day. It wasn't about no taxation without
It's
representation.
about aluminium.
It was just a lot of words where we're like, we're not putting a U in the word color. It's it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a toilet. It's a
that.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
More
back
than
to
just
our,
a toilet in there.
yeah, the loo. Back to our original president thing, and then we'll go right back to the list. They say Paul Revere would not have been yelling, "The British are coming." He would have been saying, "The King's men are here,"
Do you think he's the first LGBT?
because they would consider themselves British at the time.
Do you think he's the first LGBTQ person, and he's just saying that the British were coming?
Ooh, like they were ejaculating.
Yeah, like
Well, that's
he was
easy
the
to
one
win
that
a
was.
war.
He was just like, "Hey, British, you're gonna be coming." Like any Brits out there, I'm gonna fuck you.
All these like American women are peeping their heads out like, why do I give a shit?
Yeah. He's
Could
like,
be.
the British are coming.
We're gonna look into Paul Revere. Number 4 for me is crescent rolls. Another thing out of the can,
Out of the can.
phenomenal.
You know the best part of that?
Pillsbury,
the
baby.
pop.
Yeah,
When that pop happens, I pop.
because crescent rolls have range on Thanksgiving. You could have crescent rolls throughout the year, right?
Mm.
Maybe that's not like a summer or spring item, but fall, winter, they warm you up. Buttering them is fantastic,
Uh-huh.
but also fucking you just drench that shit in gravy too, and you're ready.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
ready to fucking go. You know?
I like a little bit of cinnamon with that butter.
Ooh, cinnamon butter.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas
Yeah.
Roadhouse, which is a chain in America, is not great, but their cinnamon butter is
What are
next
you
level.
fucking on about?
Dude, their cinnamon butter, I admit, their bread and that cinnamon butter is next level.
Okay, good.
But the rest of it's fine.
They're stupid.
the
It's bad.
peanuts?
It's all right.
You remember when they used to throw peanuts on the ground?
They still do, I think. Or they stopped
No,
because of
they
peanut
stopped doing that
allergies.
because people are deathly allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
and
It's
would
so
walk into their
fucking-
place.
That is the grossest thing in the world is when I'm walking around on peanut shells.
But it was
Because you know how I break up a peanut shell? I put it in my mouth and I bite down on it to break it up. And then that's just so all I can think about is just like, let's just spit out peanuts.
it was a cool visual though.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah, you know what I really love to pay $60 for a steak.
Why are you
Carnival?
paying 60? The most expensive steak at Texas Roadhouse is $33.99 is the T-bone because I
Okay,
got it
well,
for my
that's
birthday.
the problem right there.
You said
T-bone
$60.
is the most expensive thing.
That they have there?
Yeah.
Come on, this guy knows what he's talking
It's
about.
a chain. We're talking about
Yeah, it's
Texas
a chain.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
He's not talking about Bavettes. Or Bavettis.
Bavets,
Come
pretty
on,
good, Bavets.
Jonah.
Bavets?
You used to be from Wisconsin. What happened?
I never went to Texas Roadhouse in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yes.
No, I go to Machine Shed.
Oh.
This guy's fucking know what he's talking about.
You shut the fuck up,
Shut the
Austin.
fuck up, Austin.
I'm sorry.
There's a reason why you're off camera.
I know, but
He should be on. He's very handsome.
He's very handsome.
oh, thank
ridiculous.
you.
Mhm.
Wait,
It
is
makes me
there
feel
a reason?
insecure.
Keeps getting
So I had a
handsomer
question
every
for
week.
Joe about the croissant, or I'm sorry, crescent roll.
Crescent roll.
Not the croissant. Is there a reason why it's not just rolls in
You
general?
French piece of
why
shit.
Look, I like rolls in
specifically-
general, but to me, there's something specific about crescent rolls at Thanksgiving. I would grab two. Everyone grabs one. I grab two because I know I'm coming back for another crescent roll. Right?
Yeah.
So I get, and then by the way, my second plate, two more crescent rolls.
Yeah.
I'm having
you
4
make-
to 6
Are
crescent
you making
rolls.
Are you cutting them in half and making a little turkey sandwich?
No, but I love that idea.
Uh-huh.
I missed the boat, the
Uh-huh.
gravy boat on that
Yeah.
one. But no, they were always so warm and soft.
Buttery,
And yeah, there's just something about like
Flaky.
the way, and not too flaky.
not too
You
flaky.
don't want flaky where you bite in and there's crumbs everywhere.
exactly.
biscuit.
Right? It's just the right. I think it was my Aunt Joan just made them perfectly. This was my dad's aunt. I just called Aunt Joan because it'd be weird to be like, hello, grand aunt. But like, yeah, she made them incredibly well. And yeah, it was just it's a Thanksgiving staple. I love
She's
them.
still around.
No, she actually passed away over the summer.
First off, I'm sorry to hear that.
She's like 94. She had a great run.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, sorry to hear that. Second off, did you put a croissant roll on top of her? On top of the.
I sadly could not make the funeral, and I still feel really bad about that. So thanks, Jonah, for bringing that up. But I should have.
Well, you can visit her
I could
grave and
visit
put
the
a
grave,
croissant
put a
roll on
cres-
top of
put
the.
a crescent roll.
Crescent
right on
roll.
there.
Excuse me,
Crescent roll, not a
crescent roll.
croissant. I made
It's
it
not a
very
croissant
clear. I
roll.
wanted to make sure it was a
Yeah.
croissant.
It's a crescent roll.
Crescent roll.
Crescent
I
roll.
could do that.
Pillsbury crescent
What's your thoughts
roll.
on those outside of Thanksgiving? If there's not a hot dog inside, don't make it.
Ooh, you're right. They're pigs in a blanket. Our
Mhm.
crescent
That's
roll
what
style.
we have those at ours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Do we know what Thanksgiving that I go to has those as the appetizers?
You guys have appetizers?
Yeah, baby.
That's crazy.
Can
Really
I come to
good
your can we
cheeses
come to your
and whatnot.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why not?
We have chili dip at ours.
Oh yeah, there's always some
Chili
good
dip?
chips and dips, some really good dips.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a 7-layer bean dip someone makes.
Yeah, we do
It's got like
the
cheese and olives
Cincinnati
in it.
Skyline chili dip.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck both of you and your families.
Fucking dips, baby. Love
Yeah,
'em.
you're both of your families gonna suck my dick on Thanksgiving. This is insane.
What's your
Don't-
next one, my man?
Don't take out your.
I'm gonna say this is why I asked you this before. Homemade mac and cheese,
Mm.
like in a slow cooker. Put a little hatch green chili in there, maybe some chorizo. I don't know.
That does sound great.
Yeah, or I've made this where it's like a smoked Gouda. Mm-hmm.
You love your green chili or whatever that is.
I went to New Mexico last week for a week, and I had it every single day. I had all my fixins. It was great, and I ordered 20 pounds of it to
I
be
remember
delivered
you made
this
me
week.
a green chili burger at one
Yes.
of your barbecues, and it was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Yes. Okay. Side
Put it
note.
underneath the cheese, which was smart.
Underneath the cheese, because then you couldn't take it off.
Well, I wasn't going to, but
I know
yes,
that, but
hear
that's
it.
because nobody knew. So I was like, I want you to eat this way that I cooked it, which is why I did that. Now, so side note, I'm gonna keep talking about this for forever. If you haven't been to New Mexico or like southern Colorado for Hatch chilies for their green chili, do that. Okay, it is I would say of all the American kind of like cuisines, New Mexican is one of the best. Period. And you can
Seems
only get
underrated.
it. It is. I think it's finally coming around, but there's a lot of places that say this is green chilies, and it's just, it's not. It's like tomatillo salsa or whatever whatever it is. It's not Hatch chilies, and it is absolutely incredible. It's so good that even in Albuquerque, at McDonald's, you can get green chili cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, you did
Oh,
say
that's
that.
dope.
I want that so bad.
Yeah,
Fuck.
get the green chili stew. Get the but you also do Christmas style, which is red. The Hess chilies, when they age a certain amount, they turn red. So then, so it's red and green, Christmas style.
So you're saying you put that in your mac and cheese for Thanksgiving?
I do. Yeah. I cut it up and put it in there.
Damn.
Because I love to spread that New Mexican flavor. So
I think it should start to get more press.
You can get it at, I've noticed you can get like a jar of it from the 505 company at Costco.
Well, I
Not
just
the
mean
same.
like, people like Philly cheesesteak, the, New England clam chowder, Chicago, you got to hit up, get a hot dog and beef, New York style pizza, Detroit style pizza, all these different, chili and Cincinnati style chili, St. Louis and Kansas City barbecue. But you rarely, when people start talking about like all those like New Orleans, like, jambalaya,
Yeah.
like New Mexican food just does not get into that
It
national
doesn't.
conversation. It really needs to.
Right, because I think it gets confused with Tex-Mex, and that's the problem. And it is not. It is its own thing, and it's great. But I will say, if you're in the Chicago area, or if you're from Chicago, if you're in Chicago, period, there is a restaurant, shout out to Flo, that is a New Mexican restaurant. They don't do it the best, but they're trying their best, and that's all that matters.
It suffices.
It suffices.
All right, number 3 for me is the classic, the main fucking entree of the holiday, and that's turkey with gravy.
Like with the gravy?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be with gravy. I like dark meat or white meat. I'm not picky on that. I know some people are like dark all the way,
That's your
white all the
3,
way.
though.
That is my number 3. Yeah.
Wow. I'm really intrigued on what's going to be 2 and 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be anything that's going to wow anybody. It should be stuff that's fairly expected because they're also major Thanksgiving staples. But yeah, man, I will load up on that turkey, and I doubt. I'll just say it right now. This is what I was going to leave to the end, but when I load my plate, I fucking douse the whole thing
Okay.
with fucking gravy.
Yeah.
I'm just dumping that gravy
All over.
it, all over.
Put in your biscuits?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
It's on the crescent rolls.
Gravy.
It's on the
Crescent-
stuffing.
Sorry, crescent rolls.
It's on the stuffing. It's on the crescent rolls. It's on the turkey, and it's on the one more food that I have not named yet because I will soon.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 3?
Can I ask you this question?
What's your number 3? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's your thoughts? Because my family does. This is why I'm not happy. My family does roast beef.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but
No,
it could be for any
'cause-
other day, though, is my point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I like roast beef as well, but again, any other day. I know people who do like pot roast or roast beef or different like dishes like that.
We
And
do
again,
turkey and ham.
ham I like a lot too. I like a honey baked ham for Christmas Eve.
Yeah. For
Chicago has
Christmas.
this honey baked ham like place. It's like a chain. It's literally called Honey Baked Ham. And
Great
it's like,
sandwiches.
oh, unbelievable. But the ham is like crusted in this delicious flavoring, and it's so fucking good. And the leftovers, love the leftovers, right? Both Thanksgiving and Christmas are phenomenal leftover holidays. Because
What's better?
winter leftovers just the shit. It's the best.
Yeah. That's the problem. Again, I didn't get to experience leftovers until I started dating. I was going to say outside of my family. And so I started dating outside of my family. I never decided.
I'm going to edit that wrong.
Compared to previous things I've said in this podcast, that's kind of on brand. Because like it was always like, it's always like, whatever. It's always like, hey, do you want to take some home? And I'm always like, no, I don't. I don't want to take any of this home.
Yeah, because it was bad. But when it's good food, you want it.
Yeah. And sometimes those leftovers are even better, baby. Make one of those sandwiches with all that shit on
Some
there.
food is just so good leftover style.
I think turkey does well.
Turkey, ham, there's certain
Stuffing does well too.
Yeah, there really is.
'Cause
And
it
then
kinda
there's some food
soaks
that just
in there.
doesn't though.
Yes.
You
Mac and cheese doesn't go well.
What?
Homemade mac and cheese doesn't really go well.
What?
No,
That's
some
what
things
I
don't
was saying
reheat
with
that
goes
well. You know, Mexican food I love does not reheat well at all.
Does not.
No, you got
Fries don't
reheat.
reheat.
Oh,
fries
fries
don't.
are-
at all.
Potatoes
Fries
don't really.
suck.
That's why you gotta get an air fryer.
Yeah. All right. What's your number 3?
My number 3. I'm gonna tell you this. I've grown to love this. When I say roasted, I mean roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon.
What?
Man, that's a dish I've
with
never
a little
had, but
with a
it
little
sounds
balsamic
great.
glaze in there.
I think that's amazing and delicious. That's a new food I love, but Thanksgiving I've never ever associated.
No,
with that.
not with a little bacon
I
in
don't know
there.
anyone's. I've had roasted sprouts,
Uh-huh.
but not with the bacon.
Oh, when they're like almost
Oh.
black, they're so roasted.
Have you been to Wild Bar and Grill here in Chicago by the Laugh Factory?
I was just there last week.
Fuck yeah, they got great Brussels sprouts.
They do.
But Thanksgiving, tell me about this Thanksgiving with it. I've never once heard.
That's when I
anyone do
started.
that.
That's when I started dating outside of my family. Is when I when I started getting roasted Brussels sprouts. I never knew how good a Brussels sprout was.
Wow.
So good.
Huh.
Big fan.
I got to play with that fire because that sounds amazing.
When they're like just mushy, kind of crisp on the outside, mushy on the inside. Oh.
That sounds like a good little instead of green beans situation for Thanksgiving. So
Sure, that's why it was above my green beans.
Number 2, classic dessert, pumpkin pie.
Love it. Only pie I like, other than a certain kind of pie. Wink.
You know, I'm not the biggest pie guy. I like apple pie, I like pumpkin pie, but pumpkin pie, Thanksgiving, I don't know what it is. It's got this great taste. I could attack it. I mean, I could eat a whole pumpkin pie in one day.
You can Billy Corgan that shit.
Yeah, man. I could eat a whole pumpkin pie in one day. It's just, I feel a little bit like creepy describing food sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's soft.
Yeah.
It's moist.
Yeah.
It's got just like the
You're
the
like,
crust
wanna
is
hold
just
its hands
right.
down and-
You know, the crust has like,
Handcuff it to the bed.
yeah, man. I want to fucking create a safe word with pumpkin pie. Like, it's,
What do you think the safe
love.
word would be with pumpkin pie?
Heil Hitler. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I said that. That's awful. But yeah, what would the safe word be as I'm doing bondage with pumpkin pie?
Like Rocky Road?
It would just be something like,
Pecan?
please, sir, may I have another? No, that's
Please,
a
sir,
sentence.
may I have-
That's the whole sentence.
Squash.
Yeah.
That would be insane if that was your safe word.
It'd be
We're like, okay,
green
if we're going too
beans.
far, let me know your safe word. He goes, okay, my safe word is please, sir, can I have another? It's really
It's a
confusing.
whole sentence.
Why are
It's
people
supposed to be
safe
a word.
words? Oh, I know why. I just answered my own question. Why people's safe words aren't just stop or no, because that's part of the fun sometimes.
Do you
The
do
idea.
the whipped cream on the pumpkin pie?
I
Joe?
do sometimes. I could go
That
either
was my
way with
question.
it.
Whip?
I just there's something about pumpkin pie. I've brought it up to other people and they go,
It's
yeah, it's
so
pretty good. But I'm like, dude,
Fuck off.
you're not giving it. It's fucking flowers.
It is the only pie I like.
I just love it so much.
I hate pies, except for I just love pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I'm starting to come around on pecan pie, pecan pie a little bit.
I like lemon pie, like the lemon.
That's coming around. It's a little too rich for my blood.
It's like a lemon bar, but it's a
tangy.
Yeah,
pie.
it's too tangy.
Yeah.
I'm not a
But
pie
man,
guy.
I definitely fell into that. Like, I can't wait for the pumpkin spice stuff. Like for a while,
wow.
pumpkin spice beer. I was all about that. I'm glad that train has left.
Yeah. I mean, it got overkill. Although I had pumpkin spice honey nut Cheerios because they were on sale.
I saw that.
Pretty good. I liked them. I like pumpkin donuts.
Okay.
Very good. But at this time of year, I like apple cider donuts. There's just a whole pumpkin apple thing, and
Is
I love
there really
apple pie.
pumpkin in pumpkin pie?
I think they make it out of pumpkin. Yes.
Is it? Okay. I don't know. I've never made one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no
You
idea.
don't have to go to the store.
Mm.
All right. What do you got for your number deuce?
Potatoes au gratin.
Ooh,
Cheesy potatoes.
cheesy potatoes, man. That's a
Sliced
good
cheesy
call.
potatoes,
That's a
right?
fucking good call.
When they
man.
slice them up a little bit and then you put it in the oven for later, like twice baked, where it's just like a little crispy on top. Oh, brother.
I'm calling it right now. Your list is going to be more popular than mine. Mine are a lot of. I've got a kind of a basic bitch.
I don't think so.
Thanksgiving starter
Joe, I
kit
think you did a
list.
great job.
Thank you, but I really like where you're going with this. I kind of just thought
Can I
about
tell you
what I
something?
love the most.
The only reason why I appreciate these things is because I didn't start liking Thanksgiving until after I started dating outside of my family. Like until I started dating outside my family, I did not appreciate how good food was. You know?
Yeah, totally.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling any listeners, start dating outside your family. You're going to learn a lot. It's really important. I think it's good.
You got to play that clip and then find the clip from like episode 3 where he's like, I do have one cousin I find hot. You gotta
I
fucking-
said I think that all my cousins are very attractive, and I ranked the hotness of my cousins.
Yes, I think we should do top 5 hottest cousins. I think
I'm
that would
not
get
playing that
that'd
game.
get some clicks. We'll just have Jonah doing that. That'll be a title for a YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah, top five.
Top 5 hottest cousins. It's just Jonah's face.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a good clickbait.
Top 5 cousins I wish I could fuck. Like, oh, I didn't
Could it cut
like.
to,
I
like, a-
hated saying that out loud.
Have it cut to a cardboard cutout of me? Can we get a cardboard cutout of me made where it's like, I'm not here?
It's just AI.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Joe, yeah.
And there's just me doing your voice. Hoity hoity. I like it.
Did you just
Oh,
do
hoity,
hoity-toity?
hoity. Yeah,
Did
oh,
you
hoity.
just do an Irish thing?
Yeah, I did.
Holy shit.
Oh, righty, I like it.
The Cubs.
Sound like you got hit in the nuts as you were saying that. Oh, I mean potatoes.
Oh, me potatoes.
All right, number 1, and this is such a classic Thanksgiving staple, but my number 1, and it's something I could have year round: mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay.
It's so simple, but it just completes the meal. So let me just go real quick. I'm not going to recap my whole 5 because we're going to do that real fast, and you have your number 1 still. But I didn't want to give this away quite yet. But when I get a plate, 2 crescent rolls,
Yeah.
right? Stuffing. There's cream corn. I like that. There's some cream corn on there, but
Right.
there's just regular corn. You know what I mean? There's some peppers on that corn, like, a little pepper.
Yeah.
And then put that corn in the mashed potatoes.
For sure.
Like KFC bowl style.
Yeah.
Get the turkey as well,
Yeah.
right? And you just gravy the fuck out of that plate.
Yeah.
It's just
Gravy boat.
swimming in the gravy. You know what I mean? People are going to be like, hey, you got some food in your gravy. I'm like, yeah, I do. And that's my meal. And I'm trying
Yeah.
to get at least 3 plates in.
Yeah.
That's the time of year. Because I
So you don't get a plate. You just get a bowl.
Well, it's a plate, but I make, I just drench it in gravy.
Right.
I'm spilling everywhere. they don't like it, but I
Yeah.
do it. And I try to get at least 3 plates. Because you know what this thing is? Whenever there's a feast of great food, say a week later, I'm a little hungry. My brain immediately goes, I should have ate more that day. Even though I know that's not how the human body works.
Yeah.
But I always get mad at myself if I don't eat enough.
Yeah.
I'd rather be sick and stuffed than to have the next day have any better bits of regret.
Agreed. Have you ever made a dish for a family?
No,
together?
I don't do that. I bring dishes that I buy from the store.
Okay.
I'm not a cook.
Do you
I'm not a
do you
chef.
do you eye it up and be like, why aren't you guys eating more of that?
No, because I think I'm taking that back.
Oh,
no,
'cause
I've
it-
never
okay.
pulled that move. No.
Okay.
I think last year I brought pumpkin pie. I brought
I've
the
made,
pumpkin
you know,
pie.
for when I started dating outside the family, I started bringing like dishes and stuff because I want to contribute all the time because I like to get kind of like funky with it, That's why I try to stay traditional with my list. And a lot of times I'm always like, why are you taking that? That's pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? I get really upset about
You get
that.
insulted.
I do. Because it's kind of like they're just like, I don't know, I've never really had that before. I'm like, that's why you gotta try it. It's Thanksgiving, baby.
It's true.
This is how I tried all these foods. I've never had all these foods until I started dating outside of my family. Like,
You know what you have to do before you die? Put this on your bucket list, Jonah.
yeah,
You hosted Thanksgiving.
I did once here during COVID, and it was one of the best nights of my life. We had a bunch of us come over. We were in our pod, our safety pod.
You could say it. No one gives a shit.
Okay, well, I mean, it was like probably 10.
We're breathing and spitting on each other.
It
I
was
wasn't
like,
there.
you know what? I've always wanted. Have you ever hosted a Friendsgiving? I think I
No.
want to do that. The next time I get a chance to, I would love to do that. I always have a good. I think Friends
What's
give to
stopping
me.
you? Just go ahead and do it.
I don't have a place to really have that yet. So to me,
But by next year you will.
yes,
Hopefully.
So to me, Friendsgiving, I think is Friendsgiving better than Thanksgiving?
It depends. If you hate your family, yeah. But if you love your family, probably no.
Okay.
Because I have some family I only see at Thanksgiving because it's like I go out to my second cousins
Uh-huh.
and I love going out there and it's awesome.
Do you get along with your family if you don't want to?
No, I get along. We get along with everybody. I'm
Yeah.
very fortunate. Every year around this time, you always hear people be like, "Have fun arguing with your piece of shit Republican uncle or your piece of shit liberal
Never had
aunt
that,
or your
not
piece of
once.
shit whatever." I don't have that. We don't. And like maybe there's a couple people who disagree politically, but even so, everyone's chill and cool with it. But
Yeah.
for the most part, everyone kind of is on the same page with stuff. And even if not, it's just everyone's gonna go at each other's throat over stuff.
Right.
But yeah, because I'd say 75% of the people I see at Thanksgiving, I see a lot throughout the year because they live in the city and I grew
Mm-hmm.
up around them. But my extended second cousins and stuff, I see sadly only like once, maybe twice a year. I wish
So
I saw
enjoy
them
it
a
because
little
you get
more.
to see them and
Yeah, because it's in the far out suburbs too
Mhm.
of Chicago. It's like almost so far you're like, is this still part of the suburbs? But
Yeah.
it technically is. So it's about an hour drive and it's a great house, awesome house.
Yeah.
One of those houses with 2 staircases.
Oh.
Yeah, I always loved that because that TV shows growing up, you'd see that. But
I
I
just
never
wanna
knew
race
anyone
somebody.
like before. Yeah, because it's like you start in that end, I start in that end, and you pass each other in the middle.
Yeah.
Because like you walk in, it's a nice staircase going up, and then it goes across, and then it opens so you could see everyone down below to this big family room.
Yeah.
And so you could see everyone, and then you go back down that staircase into like the family room. This is great fireplace, and everyone's watching football, and it's a really big house, and it's very cozy. It's perfect for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So shout out to Marty and Sue. But yeah, it's the Davises. Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
As a kid, did you ever do the mattress down the staircase?
No.
Okay.
I lived in an apartment until I was 10, and by the time I was old enough to do anything down a staircase, I don't think it was a mattress. Maybe I think I went down a staircase and I got a sled once.
I've done that too. Okay, so did we do that or did we just watch Home Alone too much?
What's that called? There's a name for this theory where you think you've done something, but you really didn't because you just watched something so many times you assume you did
I
it.
don't know. It's not the Mandela effect.
No, that
Yeah.
sounds like it might be though.
Yeah.
It's not though. There's something like that though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah. Okay. I was gonna add.
what's your number? You got your number one?
Oh, I got my number one. Thank you. My number one is similar to yours, but there's a little caveat to it, a little add-on here that I love. It's turkey, carved turkey, nice moist carved turkey, right? But with the skin,
I do like the skin.
right?
You can get
I
some
hate
skin
when
and
they take away
gravy.
the skin. What? That's the best part.
Don't be taking away my skin.
Don't be.
Or at least keep that to the side for someone.
Right.
That reminds me, one year, talking about pumpkin pie, there was no pumpkin pie
Yeah.
because previous years, everyone brought pumpkin pie. So we had like a lot. So I think the next year, someone's like, I
Someone
brought
else will
pumpkin
bring
pie,
it,
but
yeah.
and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then I remember being
You
like,
gotta
this
coordinate.
cannot happen again.
You got to coordinate.
Yeah. So the next day, that Black Friday where everyone's doing dumb shopping,
Uh-huh.
I went and bought myself some discounted pumpkin pies because they go cheaper the next day
Uh-huh.
and fucking ate a whole pumpkin pie to myself. As a matter of fact, I mourned with pumpkin pie because my dad loved pumpkin pie so much. I remember like a couple days after he passed away, I bought a pumpkin pie and ate the whole fucking thing in one day.
Really?
Yeah, it was grief eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't give a shit if you gain weight during that stretch. So
No,
I was
no.
just fucking. And I remember buying the pumpkin pie and just taking a fork to it and eating it out of the thing it came in. I
Wow.
never cut it into slices. That's how I ate my pumpkin pie.
I could hear you say pumpkin pie for the rest of my life.
Pumpkin pie?
Yeah, you say it in such the rhythm of you saying it warms my soul.
You know
And
what I
you
was-
said it a lot during those last couple
I did.
sentences, and every time I got really excited.
Nice. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to say pumpkin or like
Pumpkin.
I wouldn't pronounce the second P, but it's pumpkin.
Yeah,
But I
it's
used to say, like,
weird.
pumpkin.
There's a restaurant by my place called Ping Pong, and for some reason, every time I talk about it, everyone's always like, keep saying that. I'm like, well, do you want to go to ping pong or not? Like,
I say ping pong.
yeah.
pong.
Of course, you say ping pong, you idiot.
For whatever reason, any other ethnic food, if you say it in the accent in which that language uses, no one really bats an eye on you. But as a white guy, if you use the Asian accent, whether it's Chinese or Japanese, in the
always
pronunciation, it always is going to get a couple eyebrow raises where it's like, don't. And I realized that because the way Austin just said it. Say
Yeah.
it again.
Ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, that's correct, but it feels wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned this, but when I was on my trip to Europe a month ago, I did that thing where I accidentally said it back to in the same accent they said it to me. When I was ordering a drink called Rose Petal, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a Rose Petal. And they're like, I'm sorry. Obviously, because I mumble and I'm from America. So they're just like, what was it? I go, Rose Petal. And they go, Rose Petal? I go, yes, a Rose Petal. Back. And then Laura was like, what? My girlfriend was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I just picked it up and I said it back.
They probably didn't even mind.
There's a word for that too, like dialect. Like as soon as you go somewhere, you pick up their dialect immediately,
Yeah.
like suddenly.
Is that
yeah.
code switching?
Yeah, so there's a word for that too, where you change your accent based on where you're at, and it's not like a.
Yeah, it
it's
just
your
kind of came.
brain
It just
trying
kind
to
of
do
came
it.
out, which
Yeah.
is
Because it takes a while to pick up or lose an accent, I imagine.
Yeah, it's like British people going back to Britain. All of a sudden, they're using words they forgot that they use naturally.
Yeah, I'd like to look that up. How long do you have to live in a place before you lose an accent?
Yeah, I mean Adam Burke, friend of the pod.
He's
Still
lost
has
his
his-
accent, but he's
but he's
lived
got a
all
he's
weird
over.
accent
gained.
now.
He has an accent, but it's a weird it's just a hodgepodge
American,
of
Irish, whatever.
yeah. Because I don't know why I mentioned this, or he does. He was born in Australia, but he lived there for like 3 months, so that shouldn't even count for accent wise. But he was raised in the north of Ireland until he was like fucking 12, 13, 14 or something. Then he lived in London until he was in his early 20s. Then when he came to America, he was in Dallas, Texas, and that's a very specific style of an accent. Although Dallas City proper and Houston City proper, they don't sound as twangy as the rest of the state. And then was in Chicago, which is our own thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of it's a hodgepodge of all this, but you still could tell he's from across the pond. To recap, we're gonna recap top 5 best Thanksgiving food. My number 5, stuffing.
green bay casserole, green bean
Hold
casserole.
on, try it again. Sorry, try
Do it
again.
again,
Start
Joe.
over.
Yeah,
Sorry.
do it again, Joe. Sorry.
Recapping all right. Here's our top 5 best Thanksgiving food. I'm gonna kick it off. Number 5, stuffing.
My number 5, green bean casserole.
Interesting choice. Number 4, crescent rolls. And yes, I'm dousing them with gravy.
Great choice. My number 4, homemade mac and cheese, not boxed, homemade mac and cheese in a
Delicious.
slow cooker.
I like it. Number 3, turkey with gravy. It's the classic. It's the main event. It's what everyone gathers for.
Better fucking believe it.
And you got to have the gravy on there. I'm sick of people calling it dry. If it's dry, you're cooking it wrong.
Mhm. My number 3, when I say roasted, I mean roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon.
It's the with bacon that's really sending me. A
Little bit of glaze in there.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I think saying sending me is the incorrect way of saying that because that means you're mad, but you're sending me over the moon with that.
I like the way you said it.
Delighted. Number 2, the best Thanksgiving dessert, and that's pumpkin pie. Whipped
The
cream
best.
if you want it. Without it, it's delicious regardless.
Loved it since I was a child. I still
I'll eat-
love it
I'll
every
eat
day.
it all. I'll eat the
it
whole
all.
thing.
Mhm.
I don't need a plate. I'll just fork right in there.
Right in there. My number 2, cheesy potatoes or potatoes au gratin, also known as.
Potatoes have range, don't they?
They do.
So
You can
good.
do so much with it.
And I'm ending with a potato as well, and that's mashed potatoes with gravy.
Mhm.
Again, I like the whole plate, and I just dump the whole thing with gravy.
All gravy. All gravy, baby. My number 1, we're talking carved, juicy turkey, but with the skin.
Leaving the skin on.
Leaving the skin. Pretty good.
Fucking great, man. I like recapping at the end like that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Listeners, we tried it differently. We were doing our top 5s at the start.
Mhm.
We recapped at the end. It's been a really fun episode,
I
man.
think, we normally
Celebrity
argue over what the
sightings.
top 5 is going to be. I think we just kind of crushed it. This is a top 10 list.
It's a top 10 list. You
Top
can
10
dice
list.
it however you want to dice it. Sometimes we build the list together, but I feel like with food, it's food. You like what you like, and that's great too. That's gravy.
That's gravy,
That's
baby.
fucking great.
Wait,
That's
I have
fucking
a
gravy,
question real
baby.
quick. I'm sorry. What are you drinking this with, though?
Oh, what's
Oh.
your favorite beverages? Okay, with the actual meal, because I
With your bowl.
play Thanksgiving football. So I'm
beer?
tired. So I need caffeine with that first meal.
Really?
So sometimes actually, I have beer with the dinner, water and beer. But when I first get in from Thanksgiving, we played the football game. You change into your proper clothes, your khaki and your sweaters. Then I will have like some kind of like a Coke just to get some caffeine going, right? And then you're hobnobbing with everyone you haven't seen in a while. You're talking to them, hey, what's going on? All that, eating the appetizers. And then that's when I'll switch to the beer because then I start to have the chips and dip.
You doing a light beer or are you doing kind of like a Guinness?
I'm a classic American beer kind of guy. So I'm drinking like a Miller Lite.
Miller Lite.
Yeah, I'm just a Miller Lite.
Okay.
You want to go light because you're going to go so heavy on food.
Right.
I love Guinness, but I don't like to have a bottle. And, no one I know has a draft on fucking Thanksgiving.
Right. Thanksgiving is not like a seltzer day.
No, you're not having a White Claw Thanksgiving.
No,
That's
I'm going to have, though,
anti-American.
I'm going to have me a hot toddy.
That's a nice drink.
A
Yeah.
little cinnamon in there, a little honey.
Yeah, it's got to be something that warms
That's
the
post.
soul.
That's post.
Like a post meal.
Post
Yeah.
meal.
I'm not a wine guy. I know a lot of people like to cap it with some red wine or something like that, or drink red wine with the meal. That's not me.
Are you never?
Never. Just not a wine
I've never
guy.
seen you drink wine before.
I did one episode and I ended up being a fucking dick to you and Kaylee was on. Remember that one?
That was that one. Okay,
I
that was
drank
that one.
wine, that was that
Right, right. We should do another wine episode.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Should we do a wine tasting episode?
You guys
we
got
can
to do
do
the
that.
pizza tasting one. You guys have teased that before.
Yeah.
Pizza
Where you
tasting?
blind taste the pizza and you try to decide if it's like Papa John's, Domino's, or Pizza Hut.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah, that might be fun.
Yeah,
Little
because
Caesars is
I
obvious.
think it was you, Joe, that was like, I could do that. Like I could do that, and then Jonah was like, well, I'll buy it and we'll try it.
All right, let's go. Let's fuck with that. I like that. We
Yeah.
need to do some stuff for the Patreons too. So
Yeah.
we got to start thinking about that, right? All right, this has been a really fun episode. I want to thank everyone for listening. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving to you and yours, to your family, whatever you do. Hopefully you get along. If you're alone on the holidays, sorry for that. Try to make the best of it. Go see
Yeah.
a movie. Go
Yeah.
to Popeyes. They have that Cajun turkey that looks amazing.
I'm gonna order that today after this.
I really want that. All right, well, on behalf of Jonah,
Hey, Joe, happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving. Also, if you're in Chicago, Jonah and I will both be back at the Blackout Diaries this Friday. You're listening to this
Black
on
Friday.
Wednesday, so 2 days from now, come out to Blackout Diaries at the Lincoln Lodge.
That's it.